What's going on? If you need to know about marriage green card, what to do when it's denied, watch all the way to the end of this show. Friends, welcome to Green Card Guys TV. I'm your host, John Ting, and today I want to answer your question on what you need to do when your green card case is denied. Now, the first thing you would think of is, can I file an appeal or not? Now, if it's for when you file a marriage case, you file the I-130, you file the I-485, and among other documents, okay, other forms like the work permit, advance parole, which is the 131, and the 864. But when it comes down to appeal, it'll either be filing appeal on the 485, okay, or you refile the case completely, or you might do both, okay. Now, if you go to the USCIS timetable, processing timetable, there is no drop down. There is a drop down menu for all these different forms, but it doesn't have it for 290B, which that's the form to appeal. They don't use the word appeal. So I think it actually says this decision is not appealable, but you can file a 290B because they use a different phrase: motion to reconsider, motion to reopen, things of that nature, for example. So if you're denied, for example, by the way, before I get into it, disclaimer here: if you're in this situation, you really do need to speak with a lawyer one-on-one, not just rely on advice on this video. This is just to give you, get you thinking that there is still a chance, most likely. Okay, don't give up. Now, obviously, if you're getting a divorce, then it's a different situation for this kind of application. But if you're still married and you want to try, you're thinking about trying again, but you don't know if you need to file the 290B application or just refile completely. Look, at the end of the day, if I can pull up here on USCIS, okay, the fees here, 290B. Let me share right here on the screen. So I can share on the YouTube screen. Sorry, I'm joining a little, or starting the show a little bit later. Just completed a meeting, and then I gotta head to another meeting at 12:30, actually, now that I realize it. So okay, so this is the web page on 290B, and okay. Okay, so you can see here, you scroll down, these are the applications that you could file the 290B. Use this form and you want to file appeal to the Administrative Appeals Office, motion with the USCIS office that issued the last decision in your case, or certain appeals of an ICE form, I-17, which is for students, okay? So scroll all the way down, filing fee, it's $675. So it's actually not as expensive as filing to renew your case, to refile your case completely. But I think information like this is very helpful because if money is a concern, especially with your budget, refiling the entire case, I-130, usually I-130 is approved, okay? But as the I-45 is denied because I-130 is based on the legal legitimacy of the marriage. So, for example, where it could be a problem is if you were divorced, but you didn't wait a certain time period until, because in Texas, it's default 60 days, okay, for basically like a cooling off period after divorce. And then you can get remarried. But most people actually have a situation where they thought they were divorced, but not actually legally divorced. So they got remarried in the meantime. So that's where, for example, the I-130s could be denied. Now, if you're in removal proceedings, you have I-130 denied, that could be a scenario there. But typically the I-130 is approved. Then you would just be refiling based on the 485 application. And that is, depending on your age, for most people, it's going to be $1,225. Don't ask me how I remember these fees. I don't remember for all of them, just the more common forms. Okay. I'll answer some questions towards the end, but I've got 5 minutes before I need to get to another meeting. So I'll try to answer questions. But I'm on every day. Typically Wednesday is on LinkedIn, but every day, so I can happy to answer tomorrow as well. Um, and by the way, we do offer free 15 minutes. The best way to do that is if you're on YouTube, Facebook, is click or go to the number 720-740-4247. But the main thing here is you definitely need to speak with a lawyer about whether you need to file a 290B or refile completely. Typically is to refile completely the 485 application with the work permit and all those A64 because some people have been getting denied because they don't have the medical exam, they don't provide it in time. And lately USCIS, the trend is that they're trying to prove cases much faster, at least with the 485 application. 751, 601A, that's not the case. They're actually delaying that to be much longer, more than 3 years. So it's pretty ridiculous. But anyway, so you got multiple factors. Obviously, like money is a factor. Legal reasons is a factor. Okay, so you still need to speak with a lawyer about it. But if it's a scenario where they don't use the word marriage fraud or finding a marriage fraud, but you're trying to evade the immigration law by getting married to basically they're going to phrase things that's going to be a little bit confusing, so you might not sense, oh, they think it's marriage fraud. But in those scenarios, you definitely need to speak with a lawyer because then they can consult with you, share advice on whether you should file 290B and or file the new case in general. So because you don't want a situation where this decision could be transferred to the file could be transferred to the court and they try to use that against you, against your credibility. So your credibility is the most important thing, okay, in this scenario. And then let's see here. Okay, so just to answer, okay, Anu, great question. So touch base with us if you have questions about that. Okay, give us a call. Anu, you got the reentry permit. Okay. And return in 3 months on green card. I think you need to give us a call about that. And wait to get because you got a lot of strategy there you're trying to figure out. I would not travel outside the U.S. when your reentry permit is still pending, if that's what you're trying to ask. More watch. You spoke with us before. Is there a way to get back to the U.S. without getting married? And you're back in your country. You overstayed. Okay, well, it depends how long you overstayed. If you overstayed and it's at least over 180 days, then yeah, you triggered the 3-year bar. If you stayed more than 365 days without status, even if you had visa to begin with, then that's a 10-year bar. So you're saying it's all confusing how to do marriage over there. So if we do the waiver, then K1, would I still be denied at the border? You can't file a 601 application. You can't. Sorry, I was seeing someone else comment. You can't file a 601 application when you're not married. You have to be married. So give us a call. Okay, more watch. You have to get married. You can do that remotely. Give us a call so we can send you the link about it. So if you're hesitant to get married, you're gonna have to talk to your fiance about this, okay? Because then you can apply for a waiver, and then, but the petition step number 1. After petition's filed, then you can file the waiver. There's another waiver for non-immigrant visas, but it's just a lot easier. Well, I want to say easier, just less complex when it's you're legally married to a U.S. citizen or a resident. Okay, so more watch. Give us a call. You said it's been 4 years. Okay, it's been a long time since you probably talked to us. I'm assuming if you're saying me, then it's definitely been a long time. So I've had my premier associates handle the consults the past year. All right, so give us a call. More watch. All righty, I got to get to the next meeting. Thanks for tuning in. And Obese Jackson asks, how does it affect LeBron's legacy? So far, so good for LeBron. So good luck to him. Okay. And all right. Thank you very much. Y'all have a great day. Tune in tomorrow. Take care.